Alright, so the next step of your research project is to write your introduction and conclusion. I'll be going over this using a Prezi, so if you're interested in learning about Prezi, this video will help you see what Prezi is all about. So to begin, we write our introduction and conclusion. They're like our bread to your sandwich or bun to your burger. Your writing is incomplete without them. And we need to preview and review what your writing or what your project was about for your reader. It just helps them understand what's coming and helps them review the big ideas that you covered in your project. So to start with the introduction, you're going to do 3 key things in this. You're going to have a hook, which, remember, is something to catch your audience's attention, to get us interested in your topic. It's different than a hook when you're writing fiction, like a short story. Your hook here would be something catchy related to your topic. I'll talk about the different types of hooks here in just a second. Where you are also going to introduce the main ideas and topics that you're going to cover in your presentation or your PowerPoint or poster, timeline, whatever choice you have made for your final project. And then you will also have a thesis statement, which is your main idea and topic that you are trying to talk about or prove in your project. When we talk about hooks, you do have a handout in your binder that will help you write different types of hooks and also help you write your thesis statement. But some ways that you can hook your reader are with an anecdote, which is like a small little story, a question, a quote, or a statement of intrigue, something interesting or surprising related to your topic. So here's an example of an introduction. I'll give you a second to read it. So as you can see, I begin with a hook. I chose to use a quote from the person that my project is about, which is Gandhi, and then kind of explained it. Then here, I picked out some of the main big ideas that I was trying to get across in my presentation. So these are 3 of the big things that I'm going to explain in my presentation. And then lastly, I have my thesis statement. Your thesis statement for this project might look a little bit different than it would if we were just writing basically an essay. So you will want to think about what is the main thing that you're trying to explain or prove or describe in your project, and that will be a part of your thesis. Again, you do have a handout in your binder about thesis statements and how to write them. There's also a handout in your binder about how to write an introduction in general. It's a good resource to look at. Okay, so now we move on to the conclusion. This is going to be at the very end of your presentation or poster or timeline or whatever. And it wraps up and reviews all the big things that you talked about on your work. Again, you're going to restate your main topic or thesis. You're going to review the main ideas and topics that were presented and end with a final thought and wrap-up sentence. So it's very similar to the introduction. The order of things is a little flip-flopped, but you're basically restating your introduction in a way. So here's my conclusion. I'll give you a moment to read. So, I restated my main thesis statement here. I reworded it differently than my introduction, but it's still basically the same ideas. Then here I reviewed 3 of my big points and ideas that I made in my presentation. And lastly, I have a final thought that I ended with. So again, very similar to the introduction. The order is a little bit different, but a lot of the same ideas are a part of this. So notice that in both the introduction and conclusion, there's really not a whole lot of facts or information or details. You're just previewing for your reader or your audience what kinds of information that they're going to be finding out about. So a few things. If you're doing first-person speech, your introduction and conclusion are going to be separate from your speech. So if you need help understanding how to work that in, let me know and I can help you. All other projects will have an introduction and conclusion. If you're doing a Prezi, a PowerPoint, a Google Slides, you would just have a slide specifically for those if you want. Posters, brochures, and timelines will be a little bit different, but they need to be there. So at this point, you should be ready, if you're watching this video, to start your introduction and conclusion. And the reason why we do this at the end of working on your project is now you know what your big ideas are. You know what information you're sharing, so you can go ahead and start writing those. This should be about the last step of your project, so you should be getting near the end. If you need help, let me know.